All right, we're here with Phillip Evans for Aces Loaded Podcast, episode number 6. Phil, thanks for joining the show. I believe you are our first position player in some time.
Sweet.
I want to start with your debut back in 2017. You're drafted by the Mets in 2011. Just take me through that day, that experience in September of 2017.
It was awesome, man. 17, end of the year. I was actually heading home to San Diego to get ready for winter ball, and 3 days at home. I just finished unpacking pretty much my whole life from the season, and ended up getting the call up, and it was later in the day, so I flew a red eye to New York and debuted against the Reds at home, and got a pinch hit late in that game, lined out, of course, but the next night, it was the day before my birthday, got another pinch hit, hit a double off Homer Bailey down the left field line, and I'll never forget that because I ended the inning, or somebody behind me ended the inning. I was rounding second, heading home, or on second, around third, heading home, and Homer Bailey was walking off the mound. He goes, "Congrats, man, on your first one." So that was pretty cool to me, and also Votto caught me on the way out back into the dugout and congratulated me as well. So that was kind of like the brotherhood of like, welcome to the show. It's a lot bigger than people realize, and it was a cool moment. I mean, when guys like that congratulate you after you getting a hit off them, they just know how special it is to get to the show, and hopefully you stay there as long as you can.
That was my next question. Did you have a welcome to the show moment aside from those two interactions with Votto and Bailey?
Yeah, I mean, the next day was a Sunday day game. We were traveling day to Chicago, playing the Cubs with a Monday off day. So off the field, some of the guys kind of took me out for my birthday, and it was, I mean, it was pretty fun. I mean, it was kind of like dinner. Yeah. I mean, bar, the whole nine. You know, just I mean, how a birthday should be spent. But it was nice. All the tabs were picked up, and just had a good time. A lot of the coaches showed up, and some of the traveling secretaries, and a lot of my close friends I came up with the Mets were still on the team. So that was pretty special for me to get to celebrate being in the big leagues and my birthday within 2-3 days of each other. So it was pretty awesome.
Take you back to the moment you got the call that you were going to the show. That was right after the minor league season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was September the 7th I got the call. I think we ended at the end of August or beginning of September. I forgot. Yeah, I was at home in San Diego. Just unpacked my entire suitcases, I should say. Had a pretty good year. Thought I was going to go up sooner in September, and the call never came. And was getting ready for winter ball, and I was coming up on a free agent year. So my farm director called, and I was like, "Oh man, I might be getting released right now." Was heading to dinner with some of my friends back home, and hadn't eaten all day. I remember that because I was unpacking all day, and picked up the phone, asked me what I was doing. I was like, just unpacked. I'm heading to dinner. He's like, well, you better repack and get on the fastest plane you can to New York. And I was like, wow, just a full 180 from the phone call I was expecting to get.
Did you get the dinner with your buddies, or?
No, we just we celebrated the rest of the night. I couldn't sleep. I think I had a 8 a.m., 6 a.m. flight or something, so I didn't want to miss that. So I stayed up the entire night, went to the airport, slept on the plane as much as I could. But I mean, I was so excited that I could barely sleep. I think I was on 1 hour or 2 hours of sleep. Grabbed a pinch hit a couple hours later, and I mean, it was a special moment for me. It was so much fun.
Taking the 2020 season, you later played, you were at the Cubs organization for a bit, then ultimately the Pirates in 2020, where you were really successful until the injury, right? Where you collided with Gregory Polanco. Take me through what happened after that, the aftermath. We'll show the video, overlay it here for those of you watching on the YouTube, but take me through the aftermath of that injury, and I know it seemed pretty serious from what the video shows.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be unconscious on a baseball field, right? No, it was pretty scary. In the moment, I was just trying to make the play, and all I remember is being on the ground face down in the dirt, and I was kind of looking up to see where the play was, but I didn't realize I was in foul territory, so the ball was dead. Adam Frazier ran over, told me to stay down, and I was fine. I mean, when you get concussed like that, knocked out, I definitely feel for the UFC guys getting knocked out every weekend. It was a straight blow to my chin, knockout blow, and I got hit so hard that when I got knocked unconscious, I fell to the ground face first and woke me back up, actually. But it wasn't, I was kind of dazed at that point, but it wasn't until the paramedics came and put a neck brace on me, the panic started to settle in a little bit. And I just kind of remember being in the back of the ambulance, getting to the hospital, them hooking me up to everything, making sure everything was all right. And luckily I was fine. I just broke my jaw. A few weeks later, got a couple screws and a plate put in there, still in there today. But yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I had pretty bad concussion symptoms after that. I was done for the rest of that year, and came back the next year, and with that much time off, you think you're ready mentally and physically, but looking back now, I don't think I was ready to go back as soon as I did. I came back 2021 season. They still had me kind of earn a spot in spring. I won the job in spring. Started off really hot in April in 2021, and I mean, the game's definitely faster up there mentally, so I think that with the concussion protocol stuff still lingering, I think it kind of was a delayed reaction to my on the field play. And I mean, even off the field, I mean, it was pretty wild, a pretty wild experience, and started going downhill with production wise, and ended up getting hurt. Pulled a hamstring, and it was just kind of a snowball effect downhill from there with the concussion protocol, and almost like PTSD / lingering injuries, and it was just kind of a mess for, honestly, up until this year. I haven't felt that I've been 100% mentally and physically until this year, and I'm very excited to be where I'm at right now.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past, but you taking this off season, making some changes, or just getting back to certain things. Tell us about that off season and how you kind of got back to your original form.
I have to give credit to Brainwaves, this neuro doctor that I've been working with on and off the last few years has definitely helped me. I kind of made it a point to be more consistent there. I mean, healing your brain is the most important, not just now, but long term. And I definitely want to give him some credit, and I mean, I think it helps a lot just working on your brain, whether it be a healthy brain that you want to improve focus, or a brain that's experienced trauma and want to get back to kind of a baseline and build up from there. But I think that with some chiropractic and physical therapy sessions nonstop throughout the season or off season, I think it helped me a lot. And I usually play winter ball. Took that off this year just to focus on my mental and physical appearance to teams, and I think it helped a lot. And I'm glad that the Diamondbacks took a chance on me to come back and make sure that I was healthy, and invite me to camp and just get the ball rolling this year.
Showing on the field, you can't leave out the saunas though, right? I mean, the sauna, big help.
Yeah, big sauna guy now. I actually have a portable sauna and a Sunlighten company brand sauna back at my house. So I try and go home every few weeks on the off days and kind of recharge and get away from the everyday Groundhog Day-ness of the season and kind of regroup, whether it be 24 or 48 hours of just kind of self kind of care, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's doing a lot of meditation and deep sauna and cold plunges this year has definitely helped me a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've experienced this a ton, but just the, you mentioned it, the Groundhog Day of baseball, that aspect of things, and just doing the same thing every day, 150 times. You've done it here, you've done it in the show. How do you kind of manage that, I guess, from a mental standpoint and as a physical standpoint as well?
Honestly, like, I haven't been a big meditation person my whole career, or even my life, but I mean, this year I really bought into it with all the brain stuff I've had going on the past couple years, and I think it's definitely helped slow the game down even more than it should. I know when your mental state isn't right, the game starts spiraling quickly, and the better you can work on your breathing and slow it down in every situation, just makes the game more fun. I mean, obviously when you're doing well, you're gonna be having some fun out there, but even when you're struggling and controlling what you can control and waking up, trying to have a routine every day is crucial. Whether it be waking up and going to your favorite coffee spot in the morning, or trying to find a coffee spot somewhere in the area where you're playing at, that kind of just gets your day going on the right foot. But yeah, even when you get to the stadium, try and eat as well as you can and take care of your body and get workouts in when you can. But yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a little break, whether go home or have some family come into town, a little change of scenery of that everyday baseball life.
Success on the field, obviously, right? You're hitting 380, you're leading the league in batting average. How much do you pay attention to that? And certain things with your swing this year, you haven't made any adjustments, have you? Has it been just getting back to what you do?
Yeah, I mean a little bit of adjustments. I think I'm using the whole field a little better this year than I have. I know in the PCL you just want to put some slugging numbers up, but I feel like it doesn't translate as well when you get back to the big leagues. So, I mean, being there, being back and forth, you know what plays up there and you know what doesn't. So I think just you opening up the whole field, making hard contact, having good at-bats, good pitch selection. If you control the zone here, it's going to play up there, you know. And I mean, better lights up there, better stadiums, a little more adrenaline up there. If you can slow the game down here, control the zone, it definitely plays up in the big leagues. And yeah, nothing crazy, just being healthy, and it's hard not to notice that you are leading the league. I mean, everyone brings it up every day, you know, like whether it be teammates or family and friends. And
really? That's brought up a lot to you?
Oh yeah, it's
we talk about it on the broadcast like every time you come up.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to avoid. I mean, it's a great thing to be talked about, but personally I just like to honestly just take it every pitch at a time, and if they're not giving me good pitches to hit, I'm not going to force getting on base with the bat. I'll take my walks, and I mean, I think it's showed throughout the season so far that I'm not afraid to walk, and if they leave a mistake over the zone, I'm going to hammer it.
Thanks for answering the 2 questions in one. We're not supposed to do that, asking 2 questions in one, and you handled that like a pro. I want to get to travel, because you played in the PCL before the 2021 realignment, when you were traveling all over the country, more so than we do this year. So tell me about that experience. What was that like, going from Iowa to Tacoma, all over the country in the PCL?
Yeah, that was those first.
Because I don't think people understand like how much you used to travel. We travel a ton right now, but how much we used to in the PCL.
Yeah, the PCL was pretty brutal. Back then, you always wanted to get to the International League because the travel was a little easier, but being over there last year, it really isn't that much better, especially with the new schedule layout. I'm sure it would have had more benefits when we had the 3-4-3 series with an off day, but being in one city for 6 days with a built-in travel day is honestly awesome. I couldn't wait to get back to the PCL if I was to be in AAA, and I'm glad the D-backs picked me up, because I was in Vegas for a couple years, and the only other place I really want to be in the PCL West is Reno, and I'm glad I'm here. And yeah, the old schedule was brutal, man. Playing a 4-game series, you're flying in on the first game, on the first flight out, so you're on about 3 hours of sleep, waking up at 4 a.m. to catch a 4:30 bus, getting on the first flight out, and then you're rolling straight into the hotel. Hopefully your room was ready. If it wasn't, you go to the stadium, try and catch a nap. But I mean, if you got on base, whether it be a hit or knock, that first series or that first game of the series is a huge plus. And I mean, you're only really getting a good night's sleep 2, maybe 3 nights a series back then. Now it's kind of 5 great nights of sleep and a travel day mix in, and it's just night and day. I think the guys that are doing it for the first time this year don't really know how nice they have it right now.
Tahoe-wise, are you a skier or like a hiker? I know you probably can't ski. Maybe it's not in your contract, but that's probably frowned upon. Do you like to hike? Do you like the mountains? 'Cause it's a pretty good spot if you do.
Yeah, I mean, my aunt has a cabin up there somewhere still. I used to go up there every Christmas and we'd ski, but I'm a big snowboarder. I know we can't now. I haven't been in a while, but if I was to choose, I'd be a snowboarder. And I do like to hike. I wouldn't mind fishing or renting a boat one of these summer days in Tahoe and just get on the water and enjoy an off day.
There you go. That's Phil Evans. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.